What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another episode of WWE's Biggest Issue. Excuse me. Now, this week's episode is going to be very, very intriguing because as I have said when, as I mentioned, what was it, last week? The World Heavyweight Championship has returned, and there's a lot of, there's a lot of, mixed emotions about, the World Heavyweight title, and I'm gonna be honest, looking at it, it's interesting. It looks very, very interesting to say the very least. But you guys are wondering, how interesting is it? Well, before I show you what the title looks like, if I can get to it. If I am able to get to it. Alright, so before we even get into this episode, guys, we are now we are 37 subs away from 200. We are drawing closer and closer to the goal of 200 subscribers, and as I have said in previous videos, if this channel gets to 200 subs, I will open up this Korean Strike of Neos booster box in its entirety on the channel, on the hopes to potentially pull this guy, Elemental Hero, Air Neos. However, if the channel gets to 500 subs, I will open up this Korean LOB booster box that I got from my partners over at Collector Store. So if you guys have not checked them out, be sure to check them out. Their link and address will be in the description below. However, if the channel gets to 1,000 subs, I will open up this first edition Toon Chaos box in its entirety on the channel, on the hopes to potentially pull a collector's rare, which this I also got from my partners at Collector Store. I got this on the week of its release. Move up my chair a bit, and yeah, I still have it. So if you guys want to see these boxes get opened, maybe you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue, maybe you guys want more episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue, maybe some premium live event predictions and results, maybe new card discussions, WWE topic videos, deck profiles, maybe even future box openings or whatever. Well, if you guys want all of that and more, my channel is the place to be. So if you guys have not done so already, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all of my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. So the World Heavyweight title, if you guys know what the original title looked like, this is what it looks like now. Right there, put it like that. So I'm gonna be honest, looking at this title, it looks like the original, but just a little bit. I will admit, the title is very interesting, to say the very least. It's pretty interesting. My thoughts on the title, I think it's great that we're finally gonna be getting a world champion-esque, if you will, a world champion that is not a part-timing jackass like Roman Reigns. But to be fair, Roman's been champion for. To be fair, Roman has been Universal Champion for 3 years. He's been WWE Champion for a little over a year now, so I guess it's okay. But excuse me. But when you look at the history of that world title, you look at guys like Triple H who held the title 5 times. 5 times. The first time was on September 2nd, 2002, back when Brock Lesnar became exclusive to SmackDown, and he was the WWE champion at that time. Then he ended up holding on to the world title for almost a year. Practically almost a year. From December 15, 2002 to September 21st, 2003. Then he held the title again up until WrestleMania, and then Triple H took back the title from Randy Orton, and then he ended up regaining the title right around like the middle of 2005 of sorts, like right around like the beginning of 2005. So the world title has had so many great champions along, literally along the lines of Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Goldberg, Randy Orton, Batista, Kurt Angle, Rey Mysterio, Booker T, Undertaker, Edge, The Great Khali, CM Punk, Chris Jericho, John Cena, Jeff Hardy, Jack Swagger, Kane, Dolph Ziggler, Christian, Mark Henry, Big Show, Daniel Bryan, Sheamus, Alberto Del Rio, and even also, again, the last World Heavyweight Champion was none other than Randy Orton when he beat John Cena at TLC to become the first ever WWE World Heavyweight Champion at that time. And up until now, I was kind of expecting to see the big version, the original version, be implemented in this new one, but it is what it is. But here's the thing. Don't get me wrong. Having a world champion that actually defends the title, it's fucking awesome. It is incredible. I think it's great. We'll finally be able to see a world champion that we could be proud of, and at this point it could be anybody. But the question is, who exactly should be the World Heavyweight Champion? And that's what we're going to talk about in this week's episode of WWE's Biggest Issue. Now, I have with me on my phone a list of those who I believe should be the new World Heavyweight Champion. Again, the title is being resurrected, so it will basically continue from where Randy Orton left off back in 2013. So to be fair, I think the longest reign is 210 days. So who held it for that long? I believe it was Sheamus. Sheamus held it for that long. That's right. I do remember that. Sheamus held it for 210 days. But overall, the longest reign is 281 days, which I believe Triple H owns that moniker. No, Batista owns that moniker. By defeating said Triple H at WrestleMania 21. I do remember that. Okay, so I've comprised a list of eight men who I believe should be the World Heavyweight Champion, and in my opinion, in my opinion, I truly believe that these 8 men deserve it. So we have from SmackDown now, we've got AJ Styles. From Raw, so right now I've got AJ Styles who just got drafted to SmackDown. Omos, who actually is now a free agent, meaning that he's able to go to both Raw and SmackDown until he's able to become a champion from from whichever brand. Excuse me. So let's say for example he does decide to go after the World Heavyweight title and he wins it. He'll be exclusive to Raw. If he chooses to go after Roman and he wins the title from Roman, he'll be exclusive to SmackDown. Let's see. Austin Theory, Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar, Cody Rhodes, Damian Priest of the Judgment Day, and of course the NXT call-up J.D. McDonough. Now, AJ Styles, we know that the undisputed Universal title is now a part of SmackDown. It will be exclusive to SmackDown, while the World Heavyweight title will be exclusive to Monday Night Raw. If AJ Styles wins the World Heavyweight title, then both Styles and the rest of the OC will be going back to Monday Night Raw until AJ Styles drops the title, in which case they would go back to SmackDown. AJ Styles has not been a world champion since 2018. Since 2018, when he dropped the title to Daniel Bryan before Survivor Series. That's saying a lot. He was champion for 374 days. I think it was. Let me see. WWE title. Give me 1 second. I think the overall longest reign in a single run is a little over 2,000 days. So I believe Bruno Sammartino. Yeah, so Bruno Sammartino was one of the longest reigning champions of all time. Here we are. 434 days. I think it was CM Punk, wasn't it? Yeah, CM Punk, 434 days. AJ's run lasted 371 days. And he regains the title by defeating Jinder Mahal. Excuse me. Even against all the odds, against both Jinder Mahal and of course the Singh brothers, Samir and Sunil Singh. Yeah, that was the last time he was champion. He held it for practically an entire year. 371 days. Which was incredible. Which was absolutely incredible. And I think he's definitely due to be a world champion once again. And I think the World Heavyweight title is definitely his best bet. Now, Omos, on the other hand, don't get me wrong. He is an incredible talent. He has all of the potential in the world. The biggest problem that I have with Omos is the fact that is the fact that if he were to become champion, he would have to defend the title against everyone, anywhere, anytime. So for example, if Bobby Lashley were to step up against Omos, guess what? Bobby Lashley versus Omos, run it back. Is it possible? Absolutely. But MVP wants to tell Omos, hey, you don't have to defend the title against this person. You could just walk out and be a little bitch. That's the way MVP rolls, and I think Omos's champion would be like Omos's champion would be like it would basically be like watching King Kong defeat Roman Reigns. Is it possible? Absolutely. Is it really going to happen? I doubt it. Now, Austin Theory, on the other hand, I can definitely see Austin Theory become the only person in WWE to hold both the World Heavyweight title and the United States title in a single run. We've had people hold both the WWE title and the United States title at the same time. That obviously being Seth Rollins, but holding the WWE title, not the WWE title, holding the World Heavyweight title and the United States title at the same time, that right there is history made, and I think Austin Theory has what it takes to make that history. Now, Bobby Lashley, again, as I said, going back with Styles, Lashley is due for another world title run. I definitely can see him becoming I believe just the second person in WWE to hold the WWE title, the ECW title, and the World Heavyweight title in a single... Oh, actually, no. Let me rephrase that. I believe it would be fourth. I think the fourth, because I know Kurt Angle was once... Wait, Kurt Angle? No. Big Show was the first one. Big Show was the first one. Then CM Punk. And then Bobby Lashley. So he would be the third... I believe he would be the third man in history to hold the WWE title, the ECW title, and the World Heavyweight title in a single career. That right there would be incredible. So Lashley is definitely overdue. Now Brock Lesnar, on the other hand, he can easily go after the World Heavyweight title because of the fact that the last time he fought Roman Reigns for the Undisputed Universal title, it was back at SummerSlam last year, and he was told, hey, okay, you want another shot? You got it. We'll make it last man standing, but if you lose, you will no longer challenge for the title. He lost, so he could no longer go after the title, which means now Brock Lesnar can once again put himself back into the world title picture if he wanted to. But here's the thing: he doesn't show up as often as he did 20 years ago when he was first in WWE. So him becoming world champion would basically be watching Roman Reigns all over again. Now, but in order for him to become World Heavyweight Champion, he would have to go through this next person that I have on my list, which is Cody Rhodes, which he will have to do this Saturday, which I have a prediction video coming up for you guys later this week, so make sure you guys get ready for that. But yeah, Cody Rhodes is champion. I think it would be better for him to go after the World Heavyweight title instead of the Undisputed title, because Solo is going to get involved, Heyman's going to get involved, the rest of the Bloodline's going to get involved. There's no point in Cody Rhodes pushing himself towards the Bloodline, so there's really no point. But him becoming World Heavyweight Champion would basically be justified as him becoming the only Rhodes in his family to be a world champion in WWE, which honestly is which would be incredible. Now, Damian Priest, on the other hand, I can see it. The reason being, he's already a former NXT North American champion, and he's a former United States champion. He was once Bad Bunny's bouncer when we were still under COVID. Now, Priest and Bad Bunny are going to be facing each other this Saturday. This Saturday in Puerto Rico, which is, it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts on Bad Bunny's part. But once Backlash comes to pass, and it's in the record books, Damian Priest has a chance to be world champion. Is it possible for him to be champion? Absolutely. But he needs to do it on his own and not rely on the Judgment Day, as Dominic Mysterio has done over the last year. Now, JD McDonough. Here's the thing. JD McDonough, people forget, he is the longest reigning Cruiserweight champion of all time. Yeah. Think about that, you guys. Think about that. The longest reigning Cruiserweight champion in WWE history, and I believe, where is it? Here we are. 2016 to 2022. And what I find interesting about the Cruiserweight title was that it was first created back in September of 2016 as the top prize in the Cruiserweight division, and it was held by a combined total of 21 champions. And what I find very, very interesting is the list of champions, the list of men who held the title. TJ Perkins, or TJP, The Brian Kendrick, Rich Swann, Neville, Akira Tozawa, Enzo Amore, Kalisto, Cedric Alexander, Buddy Murphy, Tony Nese, Drew Gulak, Leo Rush, Angel Garza, JD McDonough, Santos Escobar, Kushida, Roderick Strong, and Carmelo Hayes. Here's the thing. Both JD McDonough and Santos Escobar are the two longest reigning champions in WWE history, as far as like the new era of WWE. The thing is that JD McDonough held the title for 438 days. Santos held it for 313 days. So JD McDonough is the longest reigning champion of all time. If that right there doesn't tell you that McDonough is ready to be a major player in WWE, I don't know what will. I don't know I don't know what the fuck will convince you guys and the whole world to realize JD McDonough is ready to be a major star. And I truly believe that he does have what it takes to... He has what it takes to be a world champion. But the funny thing is that when it comes to the Cruiserweight title in general, whether it's both in WWE or in WCW, no matter how you see it, JD McDonough is the longest reigning champion of all time because I believe, let's see, the top 3 longest reigning champions are Santos Escobar at 3rd, Gregory Helms at 2nd, and JD McDonough is at the top. Gregory Helms held the title for 384 days, which is incredible. I had never seen anything like that before. And obviously, when you look at the history of the Cruiserweight title, from back in the day, from 2007 and obviously earlier, you look at guys like Hornswoggle, who was the last champion before the title was retired for some dumb reason. Obviously Chavo Guerrero, Gregory Helms, Kid Cash, Juventud, who the hell? Juventud. I don't know. Nunzio, Paul London, Funaki, Spike Dudley, Rey Mysterio, Jacqueline, I believe the only woman to ever hold the title, funny enough. Matt Hardy, Hurricane, Tajiri, X-Pac, Billy Kidman, Daphne, I think is the other Medusa. You've got a lot of crazy champions. Psychosis, Juventud Guerrera, Billy Kidman, Chris Jericho. Who was the first champion, actually? The first champion, Brian Pillman. The first ever champion. That's insane. So, again, JD McDonough, first ever champion. If that doesn't convince you, I don't know what will. But as far as who should be eliminated from this list, hands down, it's Omos. First off, don't get me wrong, Omos has a lot of potential in the world. The biggest problem is that MVP is going to get in his head and say, hey, you don't need to defend your title all the time. Just be a part-timer. Plain and simple. Now, Brock Lesnar, don't get me wrong, you can never bet against the Beast. The problem is that Brock Lesnar, in various interviews over the last couple of years, has said, I want to be champion again, but it's all about the future. So there's no way he'll be champion again. AJ Styles, as much as I want to see him become a champion again, I would much rather see AJ Styles versus Roman Reigns. I mean, think about it. The AJ Styles of now versus the new version, this version of Roman Reigns, that right there is where it's at. Let's run it back, shall we? As far as Damian Priest goes, I think now is not it. I don't think it's his time. I think he still needs a little bit of time left in the Judgment Day, and then break away from them so he can focus on himself. Which obviously brings us to 4. Austin Theory, Bobby Lashley, Cody Rhodes, and JD McDonough. The way I see it, I think Austin Theory should not be on this list. The reason being is because when you think about Austin Theory, one of the biggest things that he did, obviously, yes, was defeat John Cena. Yes, he did do that. But the biggest problem is that now the whole world hates him. Is that a good thing for Austin Theory? Yes, it is, because that right there with that victory at WrestleMania, he's now officially established himself as one of the biggest and one of the most top heels in WWE on Raw. So now, while it is true that is a fact, I believe he still needs a little more time as the United States champion, and once someone like, I'll say, Seth Rollins, or maybe someone like, I don't know, maybe Otis, or whoever takes the title off of him, then maybe, yes, he'll go after the world heavyweight title, and that is when he'll establish himself as a major star in WWE. But for now, he still needs a little more time. Now, Bobby Lashley, on the other hand, don't get me wrong, I would love to see Bobby Lashley as champion again, but I think him on SmackDown, it means that we'll finally be able to see, Roman Reigns versus Bobby Lashley. But let's not forget, looking back on night one of the draft, think about this: all 3 members of Imperium were drafted in the 2nd round of night 1 of the draft, which means that for the first time in 5-6 years now, the Intercontinental title will now be going back to Monday Night Raw, which means if SmackDown drafts Austin Theory, guess what? Bobby Lashley is going to go after Austin Theory again, and again, and again, and again, and again, until he is once again the United States Champion. Which obviously brings us to the final 2. Cody Rhodes and JD McDonough. The thing about all of this is that both of these men are now exclusive to Raw. Cody Rhodes, first draft pick for Raw. It's no surprise. No surprise there. JD McDonough, I feel like as if he still needs to prove himself, but at the same time, he's proven himself countless times all over the world. Winning championships left and right, all across the world, becoming the longest reigning cruiserweight champion of all time, and not only that, establishing himself as a fan favorite in spite of being a heel. Cody Rhodes, on the other hand, do I believe it was the right, creatively speaking, do I believe it was the right move for Roman to win at WrestleMania? Yes. I'm going to be completely honest, yes. Because him reaching 1,000 days would mean that Roman Reigns is in an elite group of men who have held championship gold for more than 1,000 days across whether it was 1 run, 2 runs, however many runs. As world champion, Roman Reigns would establish himself as the best, as the top best in the business. So this means that if Cody Rhodes becoming world heavyweight champion, he would become the first person of his name to be a world champion in WWE. And the question does become, who wants this more? Who needs it more? And the answer is obvious. It is not JD McDonough. It is actually Cody Rhodes. So I truly believe Cody Rhodes should be the guy to take the world to win the World Heavyweight title should be, I think, in my opinion, Cody Rhodes should be the guy to win the World Heavyweight title in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, later this month on, I believe, the 27th, I believe it is, at Night of Champions. So yeah, I think it definitely has to be Cody Rhodes. But I want your guys' opinion. Let me know down in the comments below. Question of the day: who do you think should be the new World Heavyweight Champion? Let me know down in the comments below, and that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue, which get posted every Monday, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all of my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.